No, but what's good? It's the Bullshitting for Your Health podcast, episode 82. You know what it is. We're the most balanced podcast on the East Coast, on the West Coast, on any coast, actually, in this North American space. But yeah, tonight it is just me and Tete, some of your natural, normal, regular hosts. Some of the other homies are out at casinos. Some of the other homies are chilling with their bays, with their booze, or whatever we call them nowadays. But we're going to hold it down for you guys. We've been gone for about a week and a half, but we got a huge fucking podcast ready because there's a lot of shit that's been going on in the universe.
Yeah.
A lot of shit that's been going on in America.
Yeah.
A lot of shit's been going on with white people. I'm sorry. We've
We've been gone for some time, and there's a lot of energy on this podcast, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna keep it a band, bro. Like, I like how you say that this thing that we do is not just like content, but it's something fun to bring the boys together and just really like have a good night. Right. And I'm like I was telling you earlier, like I have been a little low like these past few days. Like the holidays are weird for me coming from a non-traditional family. Having my mom live on the other side of the country, you know what I'm saying? My dad, you know, he does his thing. He's very not caveman, that's fucked up. but very like, you know, like stoic type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we just like the holidays are been very different since my youth. And because of that, you know, I felt a little lonely, like especially on Thanksgiving. Thankfully I worked, so I was with some of the homies at work, you know what I'm saying? I ended up actually making some mac and cheese. I've perfected that recipe. So ladies, you know, if you're looking for a nigga that can cook, I'm right here.
A chef.
Chef, poet, you know, fitness enthusiast,
podcast
soccer extraordinaire, podcast, content creator, skateboarder. I mean, shit, like I got so many edges. I mean, lock, what do you call it? Model. Like, come on now. Every dentist, dream patient. You know what I'm saying?
Look at this. Wow.
No, but for real, like it's just been a very, very interesting, what do you call it? Holiday season. But we're good, man. Like seeing you, it's been dope. We've already been talking for a little bit, and my mood is like just up in the air. So definitely, whenever you're feeling low, go hang out with friends if you can. Go hang out with family because it will fill your soul. And that's actually like speaking, not to get too deep or too serious ahead of time, but I was actually like watching one of my favorite news channels, the Young Turks, and they were talking about how there's this study that came out, or not study, but this psychologist or therapist who came out, and he like is a therapist for the very wealthy.
Yeah.
And it basically, he came out and said that they're just as unhappy as any regular person, and just to goes to show you that money doesn't bring you happiness. And one of the co-hosts or one of the host on the Young Turks was basically saying in her mind, because what life is all about is spending it and sharing it with your loved ones. Like, what's the point of money if you have nobody to share it with? You know,
Absolutely.
What's the point of accomplishments, but what's the point of accomplishments when you have nobody to share that with? You know, so
I'll tell you, I'll be the first to tell you that, you know, my motivation for seeking and making more money is because I've got so many people that, you know, I feel like rely on me. So that's a motivator right there.
Yeah, man.
Like making money, spending money. It's nothing if you don't have anyone to share it with. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. But other than that, how has your week been? Has the work week been chill? How have you been seeing it in the hospital?
Yeah, the work week has not been bad. I feel like it's been more predictable now. Some days are busy, some days are not, but we're not like slammed going crazy because of this current climate. COVID. I'm trying to make it the virus that we shall not name, but you can't avoid it.
Okay. Did you see that little Twitter thing going around with the Harry Potter Glock?
The Harry Potter what?
It's like a Harry Potter, a gun, like a Glock that was like engraved like to look like a Harry Potter like theme.
Yeah.
And so there's a bunch of memes going around on Twitter.
Oh shit! I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it hasn't, like we haven't been overwhelmed this week with COVID. We're overwhelmed with like people who are actually sick, if we are overwhelmed. And like I don't want to say it's nice to see, but it is normalcy, close to it.
Yeah.
But apparently there's another strain out there. We don't want to get into that right now, but hey.
Yeah, I don't hear. I mean, I feel like we've got enough people inoculated, enough people getting the boosters that it's going to be what it is. It's another virus strain.
Yeah.
We're testing a lot for the flu now at my place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The doctors are back testing for the flu now.
It's just one of those things where like I feel like we've normalized COVID in the ER to the point where it's no longer this scary thing, but it is what it is,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. I mean, it's crazy though. I did have somebody ask me what types of patients do we see a lot, because I think I like alluded to something about like patients around this time of year, and we have been getting a lot more homeless, people coming in because it is getting colder out, and that has a wide variety of different interactions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some more, I don't want to say enjoyable, but some more comical than others. You know what I'm saying? Some are like very sad, and some are just kind of like, come on, bro. This is your 4th EMS visit to our hospital today.
Yeah, there is a lot of there's a lot of different factors in that population, because there's a lot of different factors to homelessness. So you just see all sorts of things,
all sorts of types of people.
Yeah,
it's tough dealing with people as a career. Yeah, but all I have to say, happy holidays, happy Turkey Day.
Yeah.
This wasn't just a day the Pilgrims shared dinner with the Native Americans. It's a lot
if that's
worse.
What happened.
It's not what happened. It's not what fucking happened.
That's what they told us.
You see the other Twitter meme? Happy Thanksgiving. Is it happy, brother? Is it? Damn, just eat the turkey. But no, like there is a lot of intersectionalism that comes with celebrating Thanksgiving as a minority of African American descent or like Native American descent, because some people do say that there was black natives in the Americas before slaves were brought here. I just would believe that too, just from the fact that it's just pigmentation of skin. Like, come on,
it's not that hard.
It's have people that look like me and you here before, even if they weren't documented. But either way,
right.
I think what's been beautiful is that this holiday has turned into a tradition of gathering with family and sharing a meal, especially a lot of family that you might not have seen all year, especially due to COVID. This is one of the first Thanksgivings. This is the first Thanksgiving that a lot of people have been or have felt comfortable enough to gather in large groups again. So
people were definitely ready to do that, and there's been a lot of Friendsgiving gatherings too this year. Because that's something that people weren't really keen to do last year.
Shit, I did it. What?
And I feel like Friendsgiving is a thing, at least with my time on Earth, something that I've seen more recently, like in the last 10 years or so. Like,
I mean, millennials aren't getting married as much. Millennials aren't.
We are relying on
shacking up as much, so we are much more communal, platonic than just romantic as in past years.
Absolutely. But apparently there's going to be a millennial baby boom coming soon. So
a lot of people were fucking during
that's what I hear. So
a lot of people were fucking during that pandemic.
Yeah. So hey,
fucking raw.
Look out for post millennial babies.
A lot of nieces and nephews coming.
Yeah. Are they going to be Gen Zers? Are we just creating an army of more Gen Zers, or are these a new generation?
Dude, I don't want to. I don't want to go all over the place from the beginning, but we're going to go all over the place.
That's what we do. That's what we do on this podcast.
Speaking of Gen Zers, one of the homies I know tweeted that Gen Zers don't use iMessage anymore. They use Snapchat. Because I thought Snapchat was dead. As a millennial, I thought Snapchat was dead.
Oh, no. Not if you follow the stock. Snapchat stock is rising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's rising because Gen Zers use Snapchat to message each other.
Which is very strange.
I literally have this girl at my job who's 19, and I asked her, wait, do you use iMessage? And she looked at me with the utmost, I've never felt older, with the utmost just derision in her eyes, and said, yeah, if I'm texting my mom.
Oh, wow.
Literally, the ageism I felt in that moment was like, oh, I'm not cool anymore.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting.
I mean, honestly, I kind of knew that, because that's how I know that someone is like way too young, like to be on a certain level with me. Like they only want to.
Honestly, honestly, on Tinder, I've noticed that like women will be like, "Yo, snap me," and like at first when I first was on it, because this has been happening now, I want to say for maybe a year or two since I've had Tinder again, a year or two, and I've noticed the Instagrams, I noticed Snapchats, but I never really took note of the Snapchat because I was just like, oh, you just in my mind, I'm like, oh, you still use Snapchat? Like, come on, bro, that's so.
But like in my mind too, like before I knew what was really going on, I was like, oh, Snapchat bad. Like, they trying to keep that shit.
Yeah,
it's like,
you get filthy with
talk,
it.
Nigga.
No, my pompous ass was literally like, oh, you use Snapchat, you fucking loser.
Right.
Turns out, I'm the fucking loser, dog. Like I'm old, not loser, and I shouldn't say loser, but I'm the one who's too grown to understand what the times are right now. Like I'm still trying. I don't say I'm still trying to be hip or in the current or contemporary when it comes to these types of things. But I definitely thought I was more aligned with the youth than I clearly am, because that Snapchat thing blew me out the water. I've been doing little anecdotal experiences. Like I'll ask somebody if they're a Gen Z who I work with, you know.
Yeah.
Do you use Snapchat? Yeah.
The only way for us, well, for me, to keep track of what the young cats are doing now is to keep track of my Robinhood. Like Roblox is on the rise because kids, my little brother, he's fucking 17 years old. He was making all this noise tonight, like, yeah, going off. I was like, I thought he was playing Call of Duty or something. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm playing Roblox. I'm like, nigga, what?
I need to, I'll get on my stock bag again. That's one of the things I'm doing too. Once I pay off this trip, I'm just going to throw probably like $500-700 at some individual stocks. But
like, that the Robinhood has a pulse on what's happening right now. And all based on money and popularity.
All based on money and popularity. But yeah, shit. So that's all. That's my 2 cents on the fucking the generation and the youth. But to get back into, I would say our generation, a individual who passed away or was murdered this past week. Because this was past week, right?
No, it's been
a week.
It's been more than a week. Let's get the date down.
Yeah, let's get the date down. The date down exactly. But either way, an individual who is integral to my youth, to my time as a young person turning up. Even if you weren't a large fan, which I personally was never like a cult fan. I never bought a concert ticket. You know what I'm saying? I've truthfully never listened to a full album. But I would be remiss to say I had never heard this man's music. Young Dolph, a Memphis legend, a Memphis rapper, was murdered
on Wednesday, November 17th.
Wednesday, November 17th.
A little bit more than a week ago.
So a week ago, yeah, while he was going to procure cookies at a bakery that was black owned and was
in Memphis, like his local.
No, yeah, like he was supporting his own city. He was giving money back into his own community.
And he goes to this bakery all the time. Like that's where he goes. That's his spot. Every time he goes there.
And it's just another tragedy because, in a similar vein of Nipsey Hussle, I felt like this man, Young Dolph, was very ahead of the curve when it came to a lot of different things, not just in music, but in entrepreneurship. Like this man owned his masters. This man was buying real estate, and not just for himself, but for his children. This man spoke with such an eloquence that whenever you're like, because like the other thing is similar to Nipsey Hussle. While I wasn't necessarily always aligned with the music, like I didn't always listen to full albums. The last album I actually did listen to prior to his passing was Dumb and Dumber 2 with his cousin Key Glock. I love the song Penguins off of that track, or off of that album. But I did listen to a lot of his interviews, and I don't know where I got it from, but it's just something like maybe it was Instagram snippets that when he went on like The Breakfast Club or he went on Hot 97, and I love listening to interviews, I would be like, yeah, let me listen to what Dolph has to say. Because he just spoke with such wisdom on a lot of different topics that interest me. So specifically to go back to his entrepreneurial side, like with the whole real estate issue, he not only would buy property for himself to flip and to rent, but he had this habit that every time his child, his son in particular, had a birthday, he would buy a foreclosed house, renovate it, and start using it as a rental property. And his goal was, when his son turned 18, to give him these 18 rental properties as not just an investment tool, but as one of the greatest gifts you can ever give your child, which is a money-making vehicle, a passive income money-making vehicle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's amazing. Who doesn't want to do that?
Not only that, but you know, he was big on life insurance. He was big again with owning his masters on passive income and revenue that is now not just going to help feed his immediate family, but I mean his family for years to come. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really lost for words. Like, this happens so frequently in our community that the answer, because I mean it's crazy. Because what was it? Was that the day we were talking about beef, or did our talk about beef stem from Dolph's murder?
No, we were talking about beef due to Kanye and Drake's reconciliation a few days earlier, and we were just talking about, because you had said, beef is stupid. Like, there's no reason niggas should be beefing, and reconciliation is a good thing. Like, niggas out here getting shot for no reason because of shit beef, and then this happened. It was really weird.
It was very ominous how foreshadowing it is. But
yeah,
rest in peace to that man. Rest in power. A lot of condolences to his partner. She actually had this very powerful post where it was entitled "Black Men Deserve to Grow Old." She posted a lot of videos and pictures of Dolph playing with his 2 kids, because that was the other thing about, like, young Dolph, man. Like, it's like he wasn't just not pioneer, but I don't want to say pioneer, because there's not very many artists these days who are self-made in the way Dolph was self-made.
Yeah.
But he wasn't just an example and a leader when it came to entrepreneurship, but as a father, man, as a family man, as a leader of your home. Like, there's just not very many like him. And you clearly can't, because even when niggas get to the highest of heights, do you see them, at least on a public basis, with one woman loving their family, but then also not just loving their family, but doing it in their own way, like never compromising on their own character. Like, I'm still sipping lean, or I'm still smoking big blunts, or I'm still touring and living this rock star rap life, but I'm playing catch with my fucking kids, bro.
Yeah,
like, I'm coming home.
My family, my kids come first.
It's living life on your own terms, but having morals that are stand up and you don't go against them, which I feel like is missing in a lot of entertainment lately, and then also just life lately. Like, a lot of people, I feel like, and that's why, like, I asked you guys, not on a sense that I don't think any of you guys have morals. I think I clearly keep people around me that have a specific morality sense, but it's just interesting because I've felt like lately, like, there's a lot of people who might say they feel a certain way, or like this is how they move, but if they were to be put in any different circumstance, that might change.
It would change,
which to me is not like a moral. It's not a morality. Like your morals don't change based off of where you are in life. Like, if you preach to be for the little guy, to preach for everyone to pay their fair share, but then you come into massive amounts of wealth, and then all of a sudden you want to cheat on your taxes, or
find your loopholes,
or vote for a tax code that's going to help you pay less in taxes per the next man. It's like that. Then that was never your moral basis. You know what I'm saying? Your moral basis was get money, fuck the next guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I mean, damn, bro. Like, this nigga was 36 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck, yeah.
Very young.
I looked at that, and I was like, damn. Like,
nigga,
we're the same
you
age.
36, bro.
Yeah, we're
like,
the same age.
And you got many more years, dog. It's like,
I mean, that's what we hope in this world, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just, and I hate to, harken back to things that keep happening within our rap community, but like, you have the Nipsey Hussles, the XXXTentacions, like,
but even like,
why do we keep cutting down our own? Like, why?
That's true.
Why does this keep happening to us? Why do we keep doing this to us? It's just, and I mean, we don't know, why this happened or for what reason this is, whether it's a robbery. Like, I don't think too many details have come out about this particular case. And really, like, the Nipsey situation too, that's still murky. Like, we don't really know what the fuck that was going on.
Well, we got more information on the Nipsey situation. There was a thing saying that it was somebody who had snitched in his community. Nipsey knew he was a snitch. Nipsey basically was telling him, just, you got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Not doing any harm to the man, but saying, you got to get out of here.
Giving him advice, like, you need to leave.
Yeah, and this man, who clearly was not of well-adjusted, shot and shot him, like, I think a few times. And then Nipsey on the ground is shot and just saying, all right, you got me, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, still looking out for homie. And he passed away. So with the Nipsey situation, like, it's not a result of gang violence, I want to say fully, but it runs in conjunction with gang culture.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to like speak on gang culture because it's not something that I've ever been a part of or I ever want to be a part of. Right. So that's all I'll say on that. And similar to the Young Dolph situation, it seems to be of gang culture, but knowing that Young Dolph himself was never a part of a gang, like Young Dolph specifically, like, was a man who very much stood on his own 2 feet and said, I'm going to protect myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to move in this way, but I'm never going to align myself with this or that, you know,
yeah.
Which some could say, oh, well, that was his downfall. You know, he should have just been, quote unquote, a full civilian. But at the end of the day, it's like, nah, bro. Like, the nigga stood on his morality and he, like, came up off of his own. So much so that this man was supposed to give turkeys, like, 2 days later, you know, to his own community, which his team still honored and did after his passing, bro.
Of course.
So it's like, how can you impede on that man's character? And that's all I'll say on that. Like, we don't know why these two men decided to cause harm on Dolph, you know. And that's truthfully all I want to say on that. Like, I think now at this point in my life, like, when it comes to gang violence or gang culture,
yeah,
I personally don't want to speak on it. I want to be able to lend a hand to anybody who wants to, like, avoid that life, like, give opportunity. Like, right now, like, my big thing is when I see a young black African American or a young black kid who wants to get into healthcare, I'm gonna do my damnedest to help him. I got a homie right now who he has literally said he wants to be a nurse. He wants to go off to be a tech. He's working to get a position from his mom, but I've already, like, been talking to my manager and got a PCA position, like, open for him in case that doesn't work out. That's where the universe has given me power to help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't have the power to go into these communities that have been disadvantaged to such a point that you have very many individuals who think the only way to get out or to survive is to cause harm to others in whatever shape or form, whether it's, you know, larceny, whether it's, because I mean, literally, like my brother, we were just talking about, my young brother Jacob, he actually came and visited for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But basically he was talking about how some of his hometown friends, like, because he was very, like, when he was 16, like, even though we grew up in a country area, there's still, unfortunately, that culture seeps in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there was a point where I was really worried that he was going to get sucked into something that, truthfully, like, when you're living in an affluent community, like, or at least affluent enough that, like, that shouldn't even be an option, my nigga. Like, what are we doing? He picked his head up and got out of that shit real quick. But a lot of his homies, some of the ones that even, like, would come over to my crib, didn't. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, like, you can't take everybody with you, especially if your path in life that you've chosen just tends to differ.
Right.
All that to say, some of his friends are now experiencing some of those, or some of his friends, or some of his friends who have friends that were adjacent to my brother, are experiencing some of those consequences. Like one of his homies, adjacent homies, who my brother's friend, who's like, I know him, doesn't hang out with any of those people anymore. It's because one of those people went to rob somebody, ended up murdering one of them and maliciously wounding another, and so now he's got 30 years in prison. And it's insane. Like, you grew up in a community that had a good school system, you know. I don't know what your home life was like. I'm not sure if you were hungry, but at the end of the day, it's like you had opportunity to try and change that, and you chose not to. At this point, I can't help you on that. You know what I'm saying? But before it gets to that point, if you come to me saying, hey, I want to do what you do, so I don't have to do that, yeah, I'm all here to help, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was put in a position to do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the back end of you already being in that situation, I'm hands off, bro. I just don't want any of that near me. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, and it just seems like in a world where we are always searching for black, affluent, or just influential figures that have a platform, and not necessarily on a Jay-Z level, because he's reached a level that, you know,
Untouchable.
That's untouchable. Like, and he's reached a level that he's even influencing, you know, white culture. But like, just someone that's for us, that's literally doing good things for his community, his family. We can look at him and say, this is a good black man, a good black father, a good black husband who, you know, looks out for not only his community but his family, and he's making music that we enjoy. Like, we're losing that, and we're taking that away from, you know, our own community. It's like, why?
I think what's key there is the music we enjoy piece, because that music we enjoy is like, Dolph didn't make secular or non-secular music. You know, Dolph wasn't making Donda. Dolph was making music that talked about, you know, toting different weapons, or you know, having to do different things in jest or in entertainment or in an art piece. You know what I'm saying? But they also had a lot of bars in his music that showed pain, showed heartbreak, that showed the values that he spoke about. You know, I'm gonna make my son, when I die, my son gonna be a rich bastard, like shit like that. Like, it's like, get paid, young nigga, get paid. Like, it's like if that nigga don't work, he a leech. Like, it's like he spoke it in a way that to probably kids that I can't reach, he could reach, and that's what's sad to me. It's like
he walked that line well. Like, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We do like, and that's like the dichotomy of it. Like, at this point, again, like, being black is so nuanced. You don't all black being black is not a monolith. So when you want role models that are for, you know, a youth like me, we have those, I think, at this point in time, right?
Absolutely.
But when you have role models that are youth that weren't like me, that were a little bit more disadvantaged than me, like, we're losing those role models, and that's what's so depressing to me. It's like, you're losing individuals like a Nipsey Hussle or a Young Dolph that, like, speak to children that I can't reach, you know? And like, that's the saddest part to me. And it's just such a not, I don't want to say waste of life, but such a callousness towards the preciousness of life, you know? In a split second, you've robbed a generation of youth from a leader, you know? And that's all I'll say on that.
I mean, all it teaches them is you can't have both. You can't be a good father and still represent your hood. Like, you have to give it all up to be a good father and a good family man. That's the message that it seems like it's looking like.
I don't think, for me, it's not that message. For me, it's the message of, you know, and this is what's scary, but it's like, when you make it, leave, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Just leave it behind.
No.
You can't be true to yourself.
No, not that. But like, when you make it, leave your hometown, because both of these men got killed in their hometowns. Yeah. Like, that is the quote that we see a lot. It's like, yo, like, why did Dolph go back to Memphis? Why did Nipsey stay in LA? Like, why did these men who made it out go back? And it's because they were men of character who wanted to change their hometowns. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's like you killed your leader. You know what I'm saying? You killed the man that was doing good for your community just off the strength that he came from that community. Because it's not the government that's going to do it. You know, it's not white people who are going to do it.
Yeah,
it's our own communities that uplift our communities. And at the same time, it's like you robbed yourself of a benefactor, basically. And because that's literally what he was fucking doing. He was proprieting a shop from his hometown. And to me, like, that's just the saddest part. It's not whatever lesson, anything taught, other than the fact that it just scares people who do well in those communities from going back and helping out those communities.
And that's a shame, because that's one of the first things the ops will say when you bring up, you know, what the government's not doing or what it is doing. They'll say, well, when have you ever seen this rich black person go back to their community and help their people in Houston or in Chicago, Atlanta? Like, you know, you always hear that. That's the first argument. But
Atlanta actually is something that's really interesting, because you do, like, while there is a lot of violence in Atlanta and the surrounding counties, you do see a lot of those artists still stay in Atlanta. Like, protect 21 Savage, bro.
Atlanta's it's its own bubble.
Protect 21 Savage, bro. But rest in peace to Dolph. Last thing I want to say on this piece is that there was this little discussion that came out about people who really care for this artist, but I feel like, or artists in general, but it shows in a very selfish way. But it was this tweet that went around, and it was like, if you weren't a Dolph fan when he was alive, don't jump on the bandwagon now. And to those people, I just say, shut the fuck up, bro. Especially for somebody like Dolph or like Nipsey, who like own their fucking masters. Pop Smoke didn't own his fucking masters.
No, but I mean, who got even more famous after their death.
Yeah, but specifically with these two artists.
Yeah.
Bandwagon fans are welcome because since they own their masters, they own their catalog. Any money that's made from their streaming music goes back to their families. So shut the fuck up.
Well, even if you don't own your masters, money that's made still partially goes back to your family.
You're correct.
Like it doesn't matter. Like any money that's brought to you, whether you own your masters or not, is going back to your family, your estate, and that's important.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It feeds generations. So get your own head out your own ass. Because especially with Young Dolph, bro, if you weren't a real fan of Young Dolph, tell me a nigga who hasn't gone in the club and heard Get Paid. Tell me a nigga who hasn't gone in the club and hasn't heard Preach. Okay? Born in the 80s, crack babies. That's just gonna play for years to come, bro. For decades to come, dog.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want these men to live forever through their music. So yes, the only way that's gonna happen is if people jump on after his death. Just like Bob Marley, just like Elvis Presley.
Just like Tupac, just like Biggie.
Yeah, like you need to have a following after your death in order to live forever. So for everyone that's saying that, it's just
eat a dick.
It's immature.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, you're correct. It's immature. Sorry.
But also eat a dick.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. So we're 31 minutes in, which is too good at this shit, bro. Too good. So, I mean, I was thinking I was gonna play a song that was a little more melancholy, and I still am going to.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna play a quick song. It's TikTok by Joji. But before I do that, go stream Dolph's music, man. Go stream Nipsey's music. Go stream X's music. Go stream Juice WRLD's music. Go stream Peep's music. Go stream all the music of the people we have lost over these past few years, bro.
That's right.
But yeah, here we go. TikTok by Joji.
Yeah. TikTok, heavy like a Brinks truck, looking like I'm TikTok, shining like your wristwatch. I'ma grab your wrist, lock it down to the thing pop. Can you stick around for a minute till the rain stop? Please God, TikTok, heavy like a Brinks truck, looking like I'm TikTok, shining like your wristwatch. I'ma grab your wrist, lock it down to the thing pop. Can you stick around for a minute till the rain stop? Please God.
As time keeps slipping away, girl, don't start feeling away. You and I, we are one and the same. Loving and pain, loving it. As time keeps slipping away, girl, don't start feeling away. You and I, we are one and the same. Loving and pain, loving it. Give me big bucks, that is all I do. I just hit the jackpot. I wish you were here with me now so I can feel some. I wish you were here to hold me down like a real one. Wanna be a big shot, shooters fade away, but always had a weak spot. I've been on the road and I'm sorry for the mix-up. If you still love me, can you see me during next time? As time keeps slipping away, girl, don't start feeling away. You and I, we are one and the same. Loving and pain, loving it. As time keeps slipping away, girl, don't start feeling away. You and I, we are one and the same. Loving and pain, loving it. With my hands in the ocean, with my hands in the ocean, with my hands in the ocean, I pray, ooh, I pray.
Okay, we are back on the podcast. Let me get rid of my horrible African accent. I know that the last pod or the last conversation we ended with was pretty heavy, so we're going to get into some lighter stuff.
Yeah.
We took a little bit of a break too, so we can be in a lighter mood as well. But we're going to get to some content reviewing stuff. Not our content of the week, that's still coming at the end, but there's just been a lot of good things that have dropped lately. First and foremost, music, all right? So some people have released some good projects that I think you guys should be listening to. And we'll start with the lighter stuff, and then we'll get to the heavier stuff. First and foremost, Kaytranada dropped a dope EP called Intimidated. It has 3 songs with some dope-ass features, 2 of which I'm very familiar with. Her is on the first track, Intimidated. Dope. It's all like very housey, boiler room-ish sound. So if you're into that type of stuff, it's really dope. All the songs are like 6 minute long too. So the whole EP comes out to it comes out to 9 minutes, so it's not 6 minutes, but like 4 minutes track. So they're pretty lengthy. Additionally, Be Careful has Thundercat on it. So if you know who Thundercat is, he's a very dope bassist. He's been featured on many niggas' albums. He dropped his own like personal. He dropped a project that was pretty. I don't want to say revolutionary, but pretty. It gained a lot of traction in the community, especially with that one song that was on TikTok. Funny thing, dum dum dum, 'cause I just wanna party with you. And then Dragon Ball Durag.
Oh.
You know,
yeah, that song I'm familiar with.
Okay, yeah. I can't sing, shut up. But that's a dope EP I think you all should check out. I've been fucking with it.
Yeah.
Also, Isaiah Rashad, he dropped a extended version of his album The House is Burning, which he did release in 2021. And this one's called The House is Burning Homies Begged Edition. And basically it just has some new features on it. Specifically, he had a song called R.I.P. Young that had a very 3-6 Mafia-ish inspired beat. And then he literally put Project Pat and Juicy J on a remix on his new extended release of The House is Burning. So check that out. It's pretty dope.
Did you see this new song by Post Malone in the Weekend? I know that's probably been out for a while.
It's been out for a little bit of a while.
I didn't like it.
I'm not really fucking with it.
Yeah. And I was really disappointed when I saw the video because I like to watch the video and listen to songs.
Because to me, the video means they really felt good about it.
Yeah, and it's like these 2 of my you know how I fuck with both of those artists. Like those are 2 of my favorites, and it's like, damn guys, what the fuck was that? Yeah,
that was definitely created in a lab, and it just falls flat because nobody's really talking about it either.
No.
Juice WRLD had another posthumous track come out called Already Dead. That if you fuck with that vibe, you will enjoy this song. It's very well put together. It's clearly something that he already had in the tuck prior to him passing. Rest in peace, Juice. And then second to lastly, an artist that I've been very attached to since he's been putting out music, Amine, dropped. It's another EP, like mixtape-ish type. Basically between his first album, Good For You, he dropped an EP called 1.5 between his second studio album called Limbo, and then he just released another EP called 2.5. Right. And actually, I'm going to play one of the songs off this for our closing song, or maybe half-point song, but probably closing song, called Charmander. But it's a nice little bubbly mix. I think he went through a breakup because he's talking a lot about being self-sufficient, being independent, being kind of lonely, but also knowing that comes with being single. But a lot of times, to be the best version of yourself, you need to be single, And so, good vibes on it though. So that's that. Oh, also, did you hear? It's a TikTok song going around. It's called 22. It's featuring. It's made by Little Candy Paint, but it's featuring Bad Baby.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not heard of this.
There's some music that we it's like junk food music and we like it. I've been fucking with it, so listen to that if you like some junk food music.
There's not been good for you, but it's good.
There's some fucking Bad Baby songs in the past that I fucked with. Me and my ex actually used to really vibe to this one song called Hi Bitch. She even put Rich the Kid on the remix. Either way, don't hate me. We're gonna get a lot of good in-depth content for you with music in future episodes and even coming up. But last but not least, we must talk about our siren song Adele.
Ah, yes.
She has dropped her fourth
Yeah, this will be
studio
her
album.
fourth.
Her
Album
fourth
30.
studio album. Her fourth studio album called 30. The way you just side-eyed me like that, nigga, like, what the fuck is this nigga doing?
You know.
But no, her fourth studio album called 30, which I'm guessing she's 30 now.
30 is when she's 33 now. I think when she titles the albums these ages, it's when she started writing the songs. I believe.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you haven't been a fan of Adele, I'm sorry for you. If some of the reasons you haven't been a fan of Adele is because you feel that she is a white woman who has taken a space in music that is created and not given very much respect to black artists, then I feel you. But please, dudes, come on.
I don't feel that way.
I know you don't, but I'm just saying there's some people who look at Sam Smith and Adele and ABBA and be like, she's getting a lot of recognition, but is it because she's a white woman with pipes?
You're right.
I'm just saying.
You're
saying.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong.
But she does have pipes.
She does. She's
That are
fabulous.
comparable
A
to-
fabulous artist. Listen, you're talking to a nigga who's been a fan since 19. Okay, I'm not trying to argue with you.
No.
I'm just saying. If you are one of those people, I suggest you put that to the side and really listen to some of her catalog, especially this new album, because I think, in my opinion, it is quality. It's quality music. How did you feel about it? I know you had some hot takes.
Yeah. So with me, it's only because it's Adele and she's a great, like Michael Jordan, like LeBron James. You're gonna hold them to a high ass standard.
You're going to hold them accountable only to themselves.
Exactly. That's the only bar that you can really hold them to because you know what they've done. And I know you told me for you, 19 is her best album.
Well, 19 is the album that I hold closest to
Oh, okay. But
my soul.
got you. And I think for me, it's 21. But you're right. Like albums mean more to you in certain times of your life, and 21 just hit at the right time.
Yeah. 19 hit for me because literally there's a song on there called First Love, and I had broken up with my first love at the time.
Yeah.
And going through a point where I think the past 2 years I've been healing from my second love,
Right.
but also being able to look at my second love's perspective, knowing that I was probably her first love, and then hearing that song First Love going, holy shit, hearing it in two different veins. Yes, 19 is very close to my soul.
19 to me seemed like a raw, hungry, just artist. Just like most artists' first album, it's like, this is how I felt at the time. This is what I put down. This is what I'm about. This is what I'm going to do. There's no influence by anything because
Weekend, House of Balloons, all we're doing is cocaine and white bitches.
yeah, this is what I do. There's no influence by any outside force because no one knows me. So here I am. This is me. And I, listen to 19. I was like, God, who is this girl? God damn, she can fucking sing, you know. And then 21 comes out, and I'm like, oh my God, my mind is blown. 30, great album. It's Adele, so of course she's gonna put out a great album. I just feel like while the subject matter is heavy, probably heavier than a 21, than a 25, and honestly than a 19, right? Subject matter is heavier. The emotion is
Not there?
not there. I wouldn't say it's not there. The emotion is there, but it's not as present as 21. 21 is full of emotion. 21, can I say this on the air? 21 had me almost, come on, man.
Crying?
No, I wouldn't say crying, but
This nigga saying he was crying?
on the verge of tears. Like there's some songs on 21 that just like, not even because the songs are sad, it's because it's like I feel her pain in that moment because of her voice, and it's like, God damn, this is a sad song.
I fucking cry, and I'm gonna keep it a band. I feel you. 19 had some songs on there that if I needed to cry, I'd go back to. But honestly, it's been hard for me to find tears the last few months. No, for real. I'm gonna keep it a band, bro. Like I was telling you, this is a little self disclosure, but I've been feeling low like the last few days.
Yeah.
Normally, like I'd be able to listen to music and just cathartically cry. I have not been able to cry, so I don't know what's going on.
I've
Maybe that
actually
means I'm
found
healing,
that
but who knows?
This week though, because I actually didn't. Sometimes I don't know that I'm in a low place until I watch something on TV that has a tender moment or has a sad moment, and I feel that emotion drop, and it's like you're on the verge of crying. That's how I know. Oh shit, I'm in a low place.
Yeah.
Because I'm not as self-aware with myself as I should be sometimes.
It's
So sometimes what I'm saying to you is sometimes a visualization is what you need.
I would definitely feel that for you though. Like,
Yeah.
that's appropriate. But what I will say with the Adele 30 album,
Yeah.
I think for me, it's what she's going. I disagree. I definitely feel like this album is a mature Adele who is experiencing very mature problems, like
Yeah.
divorce, and not just explaining divorce to yourself or going through those emotions to yourself, but explaining it to your child. My Little Love, bro, is so heart-wrenching to me because as a child of divorce,
Yeah.
as a child of a mother who is to me not just a mother, she's a sister, she's a daughter. Like me and my mother's connection is so deep. Like she knows everything about me, and I know at this point in her life most things about her. You know what I'm saying? I can only imagine. I actually need to send this song to my mom, but I can only imagine what she's going through, you know, because for those of you who haven't listened to the album yet, My Little Love is basically Adele coming to grips with her divorce and with her experiences with her ex-husband, and then spliced together between little conversations she's having with her son.
Yeah.
And it's so much so that like I actually I don't, other than her weight loss, I really don't know much about Adele's personal life. I had to Google, wait, Adele has a kid?
Oh yeah.
Because I missed all of that. I missed all of her like being pregnant and having a child. Because the last thing, honestly, the last part of Adele's private life that I was really partial to was the fact that she was dating Skepta. Like I was like, holy fuck, bro, she's dating Skepta? Yes. You know what I'm saying? But nah, bro. Like I don't know. For me, it's like for that, and then Hold On as well as Easy on Me. Like
Yeah.
it shows real emotion, and for Easy on Me too, it's also something that like forces me to step into again like my ex's shoes and realize that like yo, and also because I've been in that place before as well. Like just because you break up with somebody doesn't mean, or you end a relationship with somebody doesn't mean you don't have love for that person. And so you truthfully are just asking for maybe not understanding but grace to know that like what I'm doing is for me. And unfortunately, in this life, all we can really do is what's best. I don't want to say what's best for us, but if it's not causing you like undue harm, like, I'm not harming you like intentionally. I'm not happy, so I have to do what's best for me. And I feel like I really felt that through this album. You know, maybe that's because I'm a child of divorce. You know, so this album really hit a different way. Like I truly feel her pain's genuine in that sense. It's not just like like her earlier albums, it's more of a hopeless romantic feel. And then for me,
See that okay, all right.
19 really gave me like hopeless romantic feel.
But
like,
she was 19.
Exactly.
But 21 gave me, I'm a romantic, this was supposed to work, this fucking failed, and I'm hurt. And you feel the hurt. Like you can be a hopeless romantic and still be hurt.
But a hurt where you haven't brought life into this world and you haven't made vows to like love this person for all intents and purposes forever, and through thick through thin, at its worst and at its best, it's different than once you make that pact. You know, once you create life. And for me,
you're right, absolutely right. But that's why I feel like
you should have felt
automatically felt that from note one. But you're right about one thing. You're talking about, from what I'm hearing, you're talking about her lyrics hit you.
Yeah.
She's matured as a writer so much.
Yeah.
And which is crazy to think about because she was already an amazing writer. So she's probably at this point on another level than anybody else who writes music right now. And you're right about that. 30 is probably the most well-written album that she's ever had. Because you're right. Through her lyrics, you feel what she's talking about.
Bro, that album's cold, bro. And I'm gonna keep it a band. It hit the right season. Like I was driving around. What day was I off? I think I was driving around Tuesday because I was so fucking hurt. Like from my soccer games, I really wasn't trying to do any activity. I was just thrifting and I was just driving around. I was on like Broad Street on the VCU shit, and I was just listening to this shit. Like, damn, this shit's cold.
Yeah, it's cold, and I've never had to listen to what she was saying as much as I have in this album versus previous album. It's like, you you're listening to the music and you hear what she's saying, but you're really feeling what she's saying based on the notes and the way that she's, you know, belting out these lyrics and these notes that she's putting out. And it's like, damn, man, this girl's going through it. And she's not saying that much, whereas this album, she's saying a ton. And I think it started more in 25, where she became more of a lyricist versus a singer.
She's spitting on this shit, bro.
This album, she's a lyricist.
But
Past album, she was a singer.
honestly, like this album feels more like a diary passage
Yeah.
than actual like.
That's what she was going for.
Yeah.
I mean, it works, but it's just not, for me, what I'm used to from Adele. I guess this album's not going to make me cry. 21 will.
I got you. This album didn't make me cry either, but this album definitely, like, it hits home.
Yeah.
It hits home for me a lot. Like,
I
she's
think
going through,
Wine
I
hits home
think,
for me.
I think what she's going through, I've definitely like witnessed in my life. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like holy shit. Like she's going through some real shit.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, bro, she sold 183,000 copies first week, which outdid
Was it
Drake.
183?
No. That's that. Did I say 100?
You said 183. Yeah.
Oh,
You mean,
she sold 838,000 copies, almost 1 million copies first week.
Yeah.
Which I think one of her albums back before when there was like different levels of bundling and shit. She sold like 3.9 million copies first week, which niggas are like, oh no, nigga, this is without bundling. This is without counting concert tickets as sales. Like, no, bro, she is in a lane of her own, bro.
she's a true international star who's adored by people of all ages.
And while also I think she's grown, like you said, into her craft of writing, I think she's grown into her confidence to like expect you to respect her art the way she feels. As the other topic I wanted to get into, which I mistakenly thought it was Spotify saying that they were taking away the shuffle button.
Yeah.
But Adele basically came out and tweeted that once Spotify said they were taking away the shuffle button as a default, right?
It's as a default, correct, on her album.
She was like thanking Spotify because she wants people to listen to this album sequentially in the way she wrote it, in the way she sequenced it, because that's what she wants you to hear.
Yeah.
And I really respect that, because honestly, that's one of the ways that I judge an album personally is like, yo, how did their sequencing feel to me? Because I think that all goes into the album making process, you know?
Yeah. That's why she's a great too, because only the greats are truly proud of their album to the point where they're like obsessed about how we're listening to it, where they take the control away from even you, the listener. Because it's like, no, this is my work of art. This is how I want you to hear it. And you see that with like a Kanye, who's also another great.
My Beatles Doctors of Fantasy, bro.
Yeah, like he wants you to listen to it this certain way. And I do that shit when I listen to a playlist or when I make a playlist. I'm like, nah, man.
Take you high, I'm gonna take you low. Yeah, don't shuffle this playlist, bitch. Shuffle this playlist.
Right, when it's time to shuffle, I tell you, no, you gotta shuffle this one.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just being proud of your work.
The one and only playlist I've ever made, that's how I did it too. I was like, oh, yeah, we're gonna go up, we're gonna go down. Yeah. Where would this fit right, you know? But, so that's all I got to say on the Adele album review, bro. Definitely, like, go listen to that shit. Listen to all the music we just talked about.
Yeah.
It's been a good like week or two of music. So other than that, I mean, did we want to get into? I feel like we should watch the movies and then have a good spoiler review. We can just put them as contents of our week.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Because we're already at 53 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm hungry. I need to take a shit. So it's like, you know, we're not gonna pod for too much longer. You got to work tomorrow too. But let's get back into some serious stuff really fucking quickly, and then we'll finish off with a health topic.
Yeah.
We gotta, because before this becomes old fucking news, we gotta talk about
the
Kyle Rittenhouse case.
Yeah.
So Kyle Rittenhouse, the at the time 17-year-old who crossed, as he's trying to say, I didn't cross state lines. You did cross state lines. A day before, he crossed state lines, then went to join a militia group that was being counter-protesters to a Black Lives Matter protest. Ended up shooting and killing two people while wounding another, was found not guilty on all charges. And there's a lot of nuance to this case, okay?
Yeah.
Do you have some facts you want to drop, or do you want to just go straight into me just talking about some shit?
I mean, I think the facts are all there. I mean, would we have a racist judge? Let's be honest.
So here's what I'll say. So here's what I'll say about a racist judge. So some people I've seen in the black community are coming out and saying, but the people who killed weren't black, so like why do we care? You know, racist judge, how can be racist when the people who are defendants or prosecution in this case aren't black? Well, and it's like how Dr. Umar came out and said it. When you stand for a black cause, when you are going against the machine that so often affects minorities, black people specifically, you are looked at as, I don't want to say a minority, but you are looked at as somebody who is an ally to a minority in the view of the machine, right? Yeah. And so this judge who clearly like is more conservative leaning, when you have God Bless America play on his phone, when he's specifically in pre-trial meetings saying, yo, you are not allowed to call the deceased in this case protesters. They must be called rioters, or they
can't call them victims.
Call them victims. You can call them rioters and looters, right? Yeah. While you're not allowing the prosecution in this case to show video of Kyle Rittenhouse weeks before going to Kenosha, videos of him watching different BLM protests where you have, yes, some destruction of property, and him literally, and this might be a paraphrase, him saying, oh, I wish I could take my AK-47 there and show them how to act, right?
Yeah, or when you let the defendant in the case pick out the jury's members' names.
So that was also one of those things that's a little bit iffy, because while optics-wise, that looks terrible, because you would never see a African-American given that same courtesy. That was random.
It's random. So it's randomized. So it truly
but the comfortability that judge showed Kyle Rittenhouse is where my black people, I would be saying, that's what you need to be enraged about.
And that sends a message to the jurors themselves.
Yes, but also in this two-tiered justice system, you know for a fact if it was you on the stand for going to be a Black Lives Matter counter-protester who brought an AK-47 at 17 years old across state lines, and you ended up in self-defense murdering two other people, or two Trump supporters, you would not be showed the same kinds of courtesy. And that's the problem. It's the fact that you had an individual who, by all means, did cause or did do some wrong, right? Because here's what I'll say, like, all in all in the case. The prosecution did not do a good job, right? The fact that the one witness they had on the stand lied and did have a gun at the time killed the whole argument. Like, once you find out that, yes, one of the men did have a gun, then the whole self-defense option does come into play. And here's what I'll say, too. Maybe he did. Maybe the kid really did feel like he was in threat of his life. At this point, what I'm now trying to make apparent is that you have an individual who did not belong or did not own any property in that state, right? Because self-defense is one thing if, it's my house, it's my parents' house, it's my business, it's my parents' business, but to say you were going to protect the business of somebody that you have no affiliation with in another state is bullshit to me. To say, oh, you don't know that or what a militia group is when you were clearly taking pictures with Proud Boys and throwing up a Proud Boy sign with a Proud Boy t-shirt on after you were let out on bail is bullshit to me. It's the gaslighting that is really frustrating me in this case. It's like things aren't mutually exclusive. Yes, this boy could have been, or this boy at the time, because he was 17 at the time this happened, could have been acting in self-defense, but the fact that he put himself in a situation to act and to murder people is the problem here. You know what I'm saying? The fact that the judge took the one case that could really show precedent and really could teach this now man a lesson, right? He took out the fact that he goes, oh, we're going to call this a hunting rifle because by the way the law works, we could call it a hunting rifle and dismiss the case. No, this person should never own a gun again, because clearly he does not show the mental capacity and wherewithal to understand what a weapon that is only made to kill people is supposed to be used for, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that he had a mother who allowed him to go across state lines is also indicative of, like, where the fuck are we at in this fucking country, bro? You know?
Lost.
So many things. And then not only am I looking at a two-tier justice system, because actually the story we'll get into next will show you, if you have forgotten or if you don't know because you're ignorant, how the justice system works differently. Is that, bro, it's like, what minority youth, right, could, because the cops didn't know this at this time, but what could shoot somebody, walk to a militia line with an AK-47, say, I just shot somebody, and the cop tell you, get out of here, go home. What?
Right. That's just not going to happen.
So many parts of this case are illustrative of the things that black people and the Black Lives Matter movement is fighting against or trying to bring light to. And the fact that we just keep getting gaslit on national television by the likes of Tucker Carlson and even some more centralist news reporters is infuriating to me. So all I'm gonna say to my people is, don't lose sight of it, bro. Like, don't lose sight of, yo, this is white on white crime. Like, no, this is still indicative of everything that we're trying to speak out against. So, and because in my mind, people be like, oh, so it was self-defense, so what do you think should have happened? Okay, if it was found self-defense based off the facts, he should have gotten the charge for the gun. He should be labeled as somebody who should never be allowed to own a gun again. And not unfortunately, but whatever punishment comes with that crime, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the simplest truth of it. You probably should have had the judge disbarred once he's doing little things such as saying, oh, pick your own juror. Oh, yelling at the prosecution for bringing up different things that, you might have talked about in a pre-trial, but clearly show your biases towards the defendant. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
even at one point making a speech about a black in his courtroom. I don't know if you saw that video. He was talking about the fact that people keep talking about the fact that he let Kyle Rittenhouse pick the names. And he said the reason why he did it was because when he had his clerk in a previous case do it, the clerk, and this is what the judge said, the clerk picked out a name and it was, I quote, a black. The judge said a black.
Yeah.
And it was the black, the only black. So
yeah, it's like how.
We can say he's out of touch, but we can just call it what it is.
No, I'm no longer playing these fucking kiddie games with these motherfuckers, bro. Like, I'm not stupid. A large majority of the American public aren't that stupid. A large majority of the American public is stupid. But what I'll say is this: we're not going away, bro. You know, like, there's gonna come a time, and we're not going to forget, bro, because when this little motherfucker that you guys are now positioning to probably run for Congress, you know, later and be your little hero, like, we're not going to forget, bro. We're not going to forget. And you are, like, eventually the chickens come to roost. And I'm not saying that in any way of, like, causing harm to people, but this shit's not going to be how it's going to be forever, bro. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, at one point, all these old motherfuckers are going to die. You know, at one point, the average color of Americans is going to be beige. You still going to have niggas that look like me and Tete.
Yeah.
There's going to be less white people. And all of this racism that you guys use to propagate greed is just going to go away. And that's all I'll say on that. And then to switch gears into a brother that passed away, Ahmaud Arbery, let's go to the case dealing with who? Because it's not the Ahmaud Arbery case.
Right. It's the McMichael case and the... what's his name? Roddy William Bryan. That's the case. So Travis McMichael, Greg McMichael, and William Brian were all found guilty of murdering Ahmaud Arbery as he was simply jogging through a Georgia neighborhood.
And they got hit with a lot of fucking charges as they should have. These niggas ain't gonna see the light of day. And if they were in a different state like Texas, perhaps, probably would receive some type of death penalty because it was a modern day fucking lynching, bro.
Yeah, but the sad thing. Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
What I'll say is this: what Teth's about to talk about. Again, what I was saying before to my black people who are like, "Yo, how is this indicative of anything that have to do with us?" Is right here because in this case dealing with Ahmaud Arbery,
Yeah.
what happened?
Well, we wouldn't have seen justice if it wasn't for a video coming out, which was, I mean, honestly,
The luck of God.
yeah, it was just, I mean, let's be honest. It was, I think what happened was William Bryan's lawyers thought that it would clear him if he would release the video that he took. But all it did was just seal the case or actually make a case. Because there was no case because the district attorney at the time basically didn't even want to bring anything to trial. This is self-defense. You guys killed this man. This doesn't have to see the trial. The law is the law. That's what they figured it was until the world saw this video and really brought this case to light and to trial.
She belongs to be buried under the fucking jail. She needs every case that she has overseen to be fucking reviewed.
Absolutely.
Because this bitch has ruined so many lives. I can already guarantee it.
Oh, for sure.
The disgust I have for these four human beings knows no bounds. I don't really want to talk about it because at this point, take a breath of fresh air. They're going to fucking jail.
Yeah.
This fucking DA is going to go to trial next.
Yeah.
Raise alarms. Send her to jail too. That's all I'll say on that, bro. We have a two-tier justice system that works in the favor of certain people while the detriment of others in this country. And until it fucking changes, we won't be silent. That's all I'm gonna fucking say on that shit, bro.
Oh, woosah.
Inhale through the nose. Hold it in. Exhale, let it go. Rest in peace, Ahmaud Arbery.
Rest in peace.
But we're going to end with a health topic. It's a little bit lighter. I mean, it's kind of dark too, but it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
But basically, one of my favorite podcasts to listen to, the No Jumper podcast with Adam 22, Lil House Phone, and AD, actually has been having some real moments. Actually, two of the black co-hosts I just stated, AD and Lil House Phone, have both been in the hospital for different reasons.
Yeah.
And it's caused them to take a really good look at their health. Specifically, though, Lil House Phone recently talked about how he was admitted to the hospital after Complex Con for new onset diabetes. If you know House Phone, you know that he's a rapper. You know that he is a self-proclaimed, at one point, not drug abuser or drug addict, but probably drug abuser. You know, he used a lot of drugs. He was a part of that whole Xanax SoundCloud movement. At Adam's 1-year-old's birthday party, he chugged apparently 8 White Claws, which, don't do that. Let's, we've had our times, but we also take care of ourselves. We work out, we eat well. House Phone is a little overweight. All this to say, my man came down with type 2 diabetes and was having a lot of symptoms prior to being forced to go to the hospital that he didn't even know was symptoms. And so I just kind of want to talk about diabetes because it's something that really affects the African American population, but affects many Americans overall. And diabetes is really a disease that can just exacerbate other diseases. I mean, that we saw with COVID specifically too. Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. One of the things that House Phone really forced him to go to the hospital, he said, was that his left foot was numb, which to me, yo, my nigga, how long your foot got to be numb? Because he apparently said it was numb all Complex Con and he didn't go. I don't know how fucking long your foot got to be fucking numb for you to go to the fucking a hospital. But off of that, let's go back to...
That's neuropathy, man.
What the fuck is diabetes? Okay, so first in layman terms, diabetes is a misfunction of your pancreas, all right? Your pancreas is a little organ that sits in your abdomen and it secretes insulin, or it's supposed to secrete insulin. What is insulin? Insulin is the serum that's secreted to help level out your blood sugars whenever you eat different foods. So whether you eat actual sugar or you eat carbs, which have sugar, right?
Yeah.
What are the two types of diabetes, right? This is the big thing that everyone kind of layman people don't understand. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I have type 1 diabetes. Oh, my nigga, you fat, but you're not fat. No. So
Yeah.
there's type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetics are born with it. And basically what it is think about it. So think about it like this. In a type 1 diabetic, your pancreas never worked. Like your pancreas was just broken to start, right?
Yeah.
And type 2 diabetics, which is, they used to call it adult onset diabetes, but at this point I've taken that away because
Yeah.
Americans are very unhealthy at times, and now we have children who are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, is basically your pancreas is lazy. You've been so unhealthy throughout your lifespan that your pancreas just can't keep up with the rest of your body and the way
Yeah.
you eat and the way you exercise. All right, so our topic today is not to educate type 1 diabetics, because a lot of times type 1 diabetics, if they have the resources they need, can take pretty good care of themselves. It's still a very difficult disease to manage because their body literally secretes no insulin
But they've been dealing with it all their lives, so
all their fucking lives.
yeah.
I think the fucking DoorDash is here, but let's as we talk about diabetes, the DoorDash is here. But yeah, so real quick, okay, so let's talk about type 2 diabetes, which is what house phone has. All right, again, it's a misfunction of what's up. Oh yeah. Okay, so it is again misfunction of your pancreas because it got lazy. So it's resistance to insulin action. It's unable to secrete enough insulin, and it. What's up? What?
You say he's here, right?
No, I mean, he hasn't called yet. He's still got to call me. I'm not going to just walk down there and get fucking set up, you know?
Oh, shit.
But either way, so what are some of the early signs and symptoms of diabetes? It's the 3 Ps. So polyuria, which is basically you are just peeing all the time and you're not drinking water. Like you're not chugging a gallon of water a day. You're peeing all the fucking time. Okay, I'm gonna go down. But basically, the second P is polydipsia, so it's just very fucking very very big thirst. You're excessively thirsty, no matter how much you drink. And then polyphagia. What's fucking polyphagia again? It's like you got
Polyphagia?
Yeah. Shit, 'cause I remember that in nursing school, but I forget what polyphagia stands for. Boom.
Excessive hunger.
Excessive hunger. Yes. All right. Well, some of you might be like, "Yo, you fat motherfucker! How are you fucking so hungry?" But no, for real, it's a 3 Ps. So you're eating, you're just always hungry. You have blurred vision. They also say yeast infections here, but also the thing that we're talking about was lower extremity paresthesias, which numbness and pins and needles feeling in your body. How is diabetes diagnosed? So it's one of those things too where just because you have a high blood sugar reading doesn't always mean you have diabetes. There's another test they do, which is a hemoglobin A1C, which will really dictate how like your sugar levels are managed over months.
Yeah.
But truthfully, just with a hemoglobin A1C, they also do a fasting glucose test, which will basically be when you don't eat all day or all morning or a certain period of time, and you'll go to the doctor and get your blood sugar tested. And if your blood sugar is fasted, it's like 300s.
Yeah. I mean, typically, when I drink, I should be able to drink a 2-liter soda, and 30 minutes later go do a fasting. I mean, not a fasting, but a blood glucose test, and my glucose should be like 100, maybe 120 at most, because my insulin stores are active and being released by my pancreas. So typically when they come into the ER and their blood sugar is like 500 and the doctors say, well, I can't really diagnose it, we've pretty much diagnosed it. Like your shit ain't working right. Like something's off. But it could be other things like your pancreas is not working because of pancreatitis.
You could be on a lot of fucking
steroids. So there are some factors that would cause your sugar to be high. That's not necessarily diabetes. So that's a thing. And that's what they're really concerned about when they say we're not going to diagnose you with diabetes just yet.
Basically, my niggas, if you're feeling fucked up for some reason, don't just, and you are not living a healthy life, you're overweight, you drink a lot, you're not eating enough leafy green vegetables, you're not drinking enough water. And when I say drinking enough water, my nigga, you know who I'm looking at. If you think water's disgusting and all you drink is juice and soda, I'm looking at you, okay?
Yeah.
Again, if you're African American in this country, my people, right? we have a lot of other factors that are non-modifiable, like some of the fucking racist shit we were just talking about in this stream that affects us. I need you to go get checked up. I need you to take care of your health, because diabetes fucks up a lot of other things in your life. Actually, and a lot of celebrities now are doing, in the black community, the one celebrity from Blackish, he was also in his barbershop and all the other shit.
Oh, yeah.
He was diagnosed with diabetes. Anthony Anderson was diagnosed with diabetes in the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about it this past 2 weeks. And he's very big on diabetes awareness. But all that to say, take care of yourselves, guys. We're the Bullshit for Your Health podcast. We're here not just to give you a lot of fun, cool, popular news, but also we care about you. We're nurses, bro. We're into our healthcare here.
And let's get our yearly checkups. And I know some of us don't have the resources or know where to go if the resources aren't there, but we have to look for those resources, find those resources, because there are doctors out there seeing people once a year, just simple labs, just simple checkups, just to catch.
I'm doing it this January. I've been slacking on that, but I've also taken care of myself. But we're gonna do it this year.
Like that's.
I'll post on the pod page. I'll post on the. I'm not gonna post my results, but I'll post it on the fucking pod page.
Yeah, let's get these labs drawn. Let's make sure our kidney function's working, our liver's working, and our glucose is right.
All right, damn, we going.
Let's get this food.
All right, let's get this food. But either way, this is the Bullshit for Your Health podcast. Our content of the week is Dune and
fucking The Harder They Fall on Netflix.
All right, guys, have a good fucking week. We're gonna end today with a song by Amine, Charmander. All right, peace.
Keeping to myself and staying out the way. Always on my lonely cause I can't change. Seeing how they talking and I'm outraged. Taking care of me, don't need a damn thing.
I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island.
Yeah.
Tell me, can we?
Shawty suck my dick, then I get lost in the abyss. I'm a quiet motherfucker, but I like to talk my shit. I'm off for shroom, I'm off for bean, I'm off for a whole lot of shit. You could bet I'm in my head, but you could bet I'm in your bitch. Look, these niggas be my sons, without me they be done. Where the fuck would you get all your Mubo pictures from? That's why I've been living on this island with my blunt, ignoring all these niggas cause my energy is priceless.
I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island. Tell me, can we? I've been
Keeping to myself and staying out the way. Always on my lonely cause I can't change. Seeing how they talking and I'm outraged. Taking care of me, don't need a damn
Look,
thing.
I know you're in there. Don't ignore me, bitch. Your dog took a fat ass shit on my lawn. I've lived in this neighborhood for 15 years, and I've never seen a shit that big and nasty. What is going on? It stinks out here. Fuck!
Look, my energy is priceless. Told my jeweler ice this. I'm way too decisive. Don't catch that ego-itis. When I'm up in London, everybody say your highness. Not because I'm royal, but because I be the highest. Sipping champagne, bitch, I do my damn thing. Born for this like Matt Dane. Red whip look like Chastain.
People be so phony, that's why I be on my lonely. People be so phony, that's why I be on my lonely.
I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island too. I've been living on an island.
People be so phony, that's why I be on my lonely. People be so phony, that's why I be on my lonely. Lonely people be so phony, that's why I be on my lonely. Lonely. Sipping champagne, bitch, I do my damn thing. Born for this like Matt Dane. Red whip look like